Hey, how you doing? Thank you for stopping by. Monday Night Raw just had a show. It was amazing. You're stopping by to hear my honest reaction, my feedback, my opinions of what just happened or what transpired on this week's Monday Night Raw. I am Unknown Emperor. Thank you for stopping by. If you want to, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We're going to get into it. So Monday night properly got started with Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez making their way down to the ring. They were flanked by the rest of the heel squad of the War Games side. Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, and Candice LeRae. All five of them were in the ring. They called out the faces in the match, name dropping Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi, who immediately made their way to the ring. And then they also brought out Io Sky. So the five of them were standing in the ring against these four women. Liv Morgan made the amazing point that it's five of them, four of them. Who's going to step up? Who's going to be the one to throw the first punch? Because they're obviously outnumbered. When I got the return that obviously I was spoiled by, somebody spoiled this for me. But I don't mind spoilers sometimes, you know. So Rhea Ripley made her return. All she did was yell War Games. She headbutted Liv Morgan, and this started an all-out brawl, which left the faces standing tall. And how are we feeling about this match? Because if you honestly really sit down and think about it, this match doesn't make sense. It doesn't. It does, but it doesn't. I think if it was a War Games match, if they wanted to have two of them, what would have made more sense was the Final Testament and the Wyatt Six. But that's just me. Because if you look at one side, you have Nia Jax, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Candice LeRae, and Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton has the briefcase. Her relationship with Nia Jax is already weird as far as, well, that's fine because we all know she's probably going to turn on her. But why would Liv Morgan and Raquel team with Nia? I understand why Candice LeRae is there because Nia wants her there. Also, why would Io Sky? I mean, I understand. Io Sky came out there to fight Nia Jax. She has a title match against Liv Morgan. I personally hate that a lot of our titles are consumed by this War Games match. You have both of the women's titles and the tag team champions. But hopefully we get storyline coming from it because there's a lot of storyline that can be made. Bianca pinned Liv. We can do something like that. Io Sky is facing Liv out of coming out of Survivor Series. We can do more with that. Rhea obviously is gonna want to make her claim to Liv. We gotta do more with that. So I'm sure they're gonna tell a bunch of stories in this War Games. As of now, I feel like it was hastily thrown together. It doesn't necessarily make sense. They could have put more time and effort into it. But hey, it's perfectly fine. I'm sure it's gonna be a great wrestling match. So we're just gonna see how this story just kind of pans out as these weeks lead up to Survivor Series. We then got a recap of the Bloodline saga, and I love this story. We're gonna get more from it later on. Later, it's gonna rear its ugly head. If you're spoiled, you've already been spoiled, but you know, it's gonna rear its ugly head later on. I love the Bloodline story. I love the recap. And now Bloodline 2.0 has Bronson Reed a part of their squad. So you might have an idea about where it's going, but you might not know. I love Bloodline. I love the Bloodline. Roman Reigns is my tribal chief, I promise. We then had a mixed tag match with Rey Mysterio and Zelina Vega beating Chad Gable and Ivy Nile in a feud that does not make sense to me. It does not. I don't understand why these teams are fighting. I don't understand who this is helping. I don't get. I mean, the match was phenomenal. We got a Frankensteiner from Zelina Vega on the Chad Gable, then a 619. They win. Ivy Nile was able to showcase her offense, but with Zelina Vega and Rey Mysterio taking the dub and getting the pin, it doesn't necessarily help anybody because where does Rey and Zelina go from here? They don't really have any direction. And then ever since American Made has been formed, they have been losing. And then after they lost this match, Chad Gable got in the Creed brothers' face. He slapped them around. Everybody expected them to run away, but they really fed into that. And they got pumped up. They got hyped. They rah-rah beat on their chest. So maybe that was the jump start that they needed for American Made to be good. But right now, it doesn't make any sense. I'm not necessarily I don't necessarily not like these teams, but I don't see any intrigue in them right now. So we're just gonna see how we let these stories develop, and then what we go from here. So we zoom to the back where Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez was talking to Finn Balor, and Finn Balor was trying to, I guess, manipulate Liv into giving him reign, because as soon as she was like, he takes over, he went straight to Dom and started gaslighting. They do not fuck with my boy Dom or Carlito. Carlito be catching strays. He be catching some strays. But this Judgment Day isn't long. Like they're not gonna be around long. Finn is already showing that he's gonna do something with Dom and Carlito. They're most definitely gonna leave. Somewhere in there, they're gonna probably split up into 2 or 3 different teams. But they're not lasting long. I don't think they're gonna keep those titles long either, because they Finn Balor gaslit Dom and Carlito into a tag match with the War Raiders, soften them up. And then after, JD wanted to talk to Finn, and they went the complete opposite way. So something brewing, and we're just wait and see. But Judgment Day is not gonna be here long. Miz and Karrion Kross was then patting themselves on the back for outsmarting the Wyatt Six, and then we got this awful Marine 7 movie idea from The Miz. But an eye for an eye, we're ready for the feud. This is all on Karrion Kross's time, TikTok, and that's what we got. That's what we got from this segment. But this is one of those ones that I'm really intrigued about. Like, I'm interested in this Wyatt Six Karrion Kross Final Testament feud, because Karrion Kross has the playing field right now to do everything he wants to do, as far as the mind games, the manipulation, the spooky, because that's all the Wyatt Six is. So this is a time for him to essentially strive. Hunter knew what he was doing, putting them in this feud. Let's watch Karrion Kross eat. We had another backstage segment. It was a lot of backstage segments this week, like a lot of small packages of backstage segments. But this one was okay. Gunther was backstage with Ludwig Kaiser, and he was telling Kaiser that when I told you to be your own man, I just want you to stand on your own 2 feet. You're strong. You know who your father is. You know how you can do it. I just want you to capture that. Be great. Go do it. Seize the moment. Stand on your own 2 feet. Then he turned the corner. He took his suit jacket off. He saw Damian Priest. Damian Priest sitting there drawing something. He went to choke out Damian Priest. Damian kicked this man in the balls, and Gunther was laying down. Adam Pearce came in like, what are y'all doing? Damian was like, hey, I'm just handling business. And then he went about his way. So Gunther, Damian, I don't believe that Damian is going to take that title off of Gunther, but this side of Gunther that they're showing us, the fact that he is kind of vulnerable in the moment, because when would you have ever known Gunther to go in for the kill and not get it? Like, this is like the first time he was kind of in that kind of realm, and he didn't come out on top. So seeing this side, and always seeing Damian Priest hiding himself to that next level is gonna be great, because he's just gonna continue to grow. So I can't wait for the next match between these two. Next proper match that we had was Sheamus looking to capture that Intercontinental Championship from Braun Breaker. And with the two involved, you knew that WWE was in a position that we got to make both of these guys look strong. So Braun Breaker was being his usual dominant self. Sheamus was being his resilient self, but they also put themselves in a position to where these two stars don't need to lose. So we're going to put ourselves kind of in a position to make something happen. But this match was was good, back and forth. The veteran taking care of the eager, hungry young pup. Bron Breakker was running through the ring. Sheamus was getting the advantage on Bron Breakker every step of the way. Every time that Bron would get momentum, Sheamus would kind of stop it. Then Bron would kick it into another gear. Run. He went for the spear. He got a knee. He went for a spear. He got the spear. He got hit with a white noise from the top rope. He kicked out. So Bron Breakker was his usual beast self. He went for that around the ring spear that he used to always do. But then Kaiser jumped in, attacked him, hit him with his finisher on the outside. Then he ran across the ring, ran on the outside of the ring, hit his drop kick into the steel steps on Sheamus, which I'm sure is going to set up a triple threat match that Bron Breakker is going to run through both of these. I'm actually pretty okay with the outcome. I know that it might have sounded like I was annoyed or mad at it, but I like Luke. I like Kaiser. I think he deserves more than what he's getting. Yes, I would have wanted this match to kind of end cleanly, but I'm not really in the position right now to where non-clean finishes annoy me. So Kaiser, get out there. The title stays on Bron Breakker, and we get more of the War Dogs. Hey. But yeah, I liked it. I like the outcome. I like it. It was a hit. It was a hit for me. The OG Bloodline was then backstage trying to recruit Seth Rollins again because Bronson Reed has obviously joined Bloodline 2.0. So obvious Seth Rollins needs to join the original Bloodline. Everybody has put their differences aside with Roman Reigns, and now it's time for him to put his differences aside. So I understand. I understand both sides. I'm lying. I don't understand Seth Rollins. He turned Roman Reigns into the person that he is today. Seth did that. I think he doesn't want to own up to being the creator of this monster that he built, because it wasn't until he put that chair in Roman Reigns' back that something in him snapped. No, Seth Rollins is not. But then Seth Rollins is also right. Just because everybody else buried the hatchet don't mean that he has to. All because y'all are drinking poison because y'all immune to, that don't mean, that's not my drift. I survived the poison. I don't want to sip it again. Oh, I survived. Maybe it's still poison. It made you sick. But he said, nah, hell nah, fuck nah, and then walked off. War Raiders were then able to build on their momentum towards their title shot against the Judgment Day by beating Dirty Dom and Carlito. Anybody that's surprised by the outcome of this match obviously does not follow the consistency of what WWE offers. There was no way in hell that the number one contenders of that title, of any type of title, was going to lose on their way to that. And this was a squash match, but it wasn't a squash match. They wanted to showcase the domination and the chemistry that the War Raiders have came back with. They wanted you to get behind them with the video package that they gave you. And the way Dom and Carlito was fighting, being the assholes that they are, everything was leading for you to get behind the War Raiders in this match. And they did, and they most definitely did not disappoint. They dominated the match, and they came out on top, which was, I'm assuming, Finn Balor's and JD's plan, because as soon as the War Raiders won, the Judgment Day was out. So JD and Finn was attacking the War Raiders, which ended up with the coup de grace and them laying out the War Raiders. But something that's extremely interesting in this is, when have you known the Judgment Day to attack, but all four members don't get involved? Here, I didn't see Dom, and Carlito was just watching as Finn Balor and JD attacked the War Raiders. So something is obviously not working well with this team. So I'm going to get to the bottom of it throughout investigating on these weeks. But they're not, like I said earlier in the video, they're not lasting long in WWE. And that's a problem. WWE is doing their best to break up so many teams. I guess that's just the way of the world right now. I'm trying to get ready, but we'll see. We then ran off another slew of backstage segments. The first one being Bo Dallas in his video package basically telling The Miz and Final Testament that they fucked up. He tried to save them. He did a Goku and Frieza. Look, you done wrong. I'm going to let you live. Just don't do that shit again. And what did Frieza do? AKA Miz in this situation? He did that shit again. And what Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy finna do in this situation? He finna fuck him up. And then we got a video package for Lyra Valkyria, which I guess is okay. She's having like this start-stop. They need to get momentum behind them, get the powers to be behind her. She can most definitely fly, but she hasn't gotten a lot of opportunity. And then we had a backstage segment with the New Day and Alpha Academy. Kofi was talking to the Alpha Academy again, trying to explain the actions of his teammate, which is wrong, but Kofi's not wrong in feeling the way that he's feeling. Woods is off his shit, but Woods came in being the gaslighter that he has became, and him and Kofi was going back and forth. Like, hey, New Day is dead carrying Cross, and Kofi's wondering why Xavier Woods still thinking about carrying Cross when Otis made the biggest mistake and got in between two people when they was fighting, and he caught a stray. Xavier Woods wasn't to be played with. He said, why would I take advice from two people who aren't really a real team? That's why Chad Gable left you, because y'all losers. Matter of fact, next week we're going to prove how much of a loser you really are. We are the greatest tag teams to ever step foot in the ring. So something tells me next week they're going to lose to the Alpha Academy, or next week they're going to win, but they're going to bicker throughout the whole thing and probably get into a big blowout that's going to culminate at their 10-year anniversary. We're en route to another festival of friendship. I'm PTSD. Oh my goodness. Don't do this to the New Day. Don't break the New Day up. Please. Keep them together. Just let them fight in-house, but then don't let them break it up. In my opinion. Which led us into our main event, which was highlighted with Big Bronson Reed taking on Seth freaking Rollins in a 20-minute good match. Great match. If you by any chance have 20 minutes and you want to watch one thing from the Monday Night Raw, if by any chance you did not watch it and you're stopping by to see my review and opinions on it, I would say that would be the match to watch. It would be the Bronson Reed Seth Rollins match, because it was a continuation of the greatest story in wrestling right now, which is the Bloodline storyline. I use that with hyperbole. I love a lot of storylines in wrestling right now, but taking that, as soon as the bell rung, the Bloodline 2.0 was out. The Tongans and Jacob Fatu, they were immediately met by the OG Bloodline, the Usos and Sami Zayn, that fought them off, so they were no longer a factor for the rest of the match. Bronson Reed was set out to be the monster and dominating person that he is, doing dives off the apron, doing sentons, powering up Seth Rollins in the reversals, doing power slams. And Seth Rollins was made out to be the smart, cunning monster slayer, being resilient, trying to find different ways to get rid of Bronson Reed. He pulled out a pedigree. He did a curb stomp. He did a power bomb off the top rope. He did a moonsault. He did a Phoenix splash. So he was pulling out everything to knock down this monster and be the monster slayer that he is. But because of the situation that he has got himself in inadvertently with Bronson Reed aligning himself with Bloodline 2.0, it was Solo Sikoa who cost Seth Rollins the match. Seth Rollins had just hit a curb stomp. He was going to the top rope, probably to do a frog splash, probably to do an elevated curb stomp. We don't know, because wrestler on the outside yelling obviously distracted Seth Rollins. He took his eye off of Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed hit him with a Death Valley driver, 2 sentons, and a tsunami for the 1, 2, 3. Solo Sikoa was left raising Bronson Reed's hand as Raw went off of air. So Now we're stuck in this position. So where do we go from here? Seth Rollins swore up and down that he doesn't want to team up with Roman Reigns, but he's gonna get awfully too close to the fire because his lines are gonna get drawn. The lines are gonna get blurred in the middle, and he's gonna. I don't know. But do you guys think that this ends with Seth Rollins joining the Roman Reigns team? And if by any chance he does join Roman Reigns' team, does he hit him with a curb stomp during that match? Do we set up that feud for maybe Roman Reigns going to Monday Night Raw, or maybe Seth Rollins going to Friday Night SmackDown? You know, they have the big thing on Netflix. They're going to basically become the A show in the circumstances. So we don't know. But I enjoyed it. Like I said, if you have 20 minutes, go back and watch the match. Those are my reviews. Those are my opinion. Those are my thoughts on the matter. Recapping, reviewing this week's Monday Night Raw. If you like what you heard, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, share with everybody that you know, and please feel free to put comments down below if you have any type of opinions on Monday Night Raw or anything that I put down. Thank y'all for stopping by. Until next time, you have a blessed one.